Welcome back. It is now Boxing Day and I'm going to do the last window of my advent calendar itself, which is that one right up there. So yeah, we're going to do this last window, and then this will be the last that we see of the advent calendar until potentially next year. I might do it again. I've had some good feedback. Please do comment below if you want to see me do it again next year with different products. But for today, we're going to open the 26th, and for the 26th we have got let me just pan you down, the hot cocoa, which is the second of the three. Again, I still do not have this one, desperately want it. If anyone has one, I'm willing to negotiate, please contact me. But yes, today we're going to be doing the hot cocoa, so let me just pop that one there. This is the capsule. So we get a really nice, it's a silver table with a gold base. So pop that in the middle. Actually, I'll pop that to the side. We get some Happy Sun Farms milk. I believe that's probably chocolate. This is our mini stuff. Again, I'll just leave that there for you to pause and have a read if you want. So there's that. These absolutely adorable little glasses. I think they're just amazing. So we get 2 of those. And then we get 2 little coasters, which I'll put straight onto my table. We get 2 cute little candy canes. We get some red and white sprinkles. And we get some incredibly tiny little marshmallows. Again, a little snowman made from, I think it's marshmallows and pretzel sticks by the looks of it. A little bow on those marshmallows. So, let's pop the capsule off to the side. Let's see what we're going to be doing. So, we're going to be doing a little bit of the milk in the bottom and some on the edge of the glass, putting the sprinkles on, putting the candy cane in, filling it up, marshmallows, and then cure. So I'm going to do it slightly differently. I know, shock horror. I'm going to do the I think I'm going to do the rim first with the sprinkles, and then fill it, put the candy cane in, cure it, and then put a little bit more in, put the marshmallows on, cure it again. And that'll be that. So, first things first, let's take the sellotape off of the carton of chocolate milk. There we are. And then take the little bung off. Press that into there, there you go. And then we're just going to, I'm just going to squeeze a little bit out and then just roll the lip of the mug. Actually, no, I'm going to do it that way. That seems to be working quite nicely, actually. Just do that all the way around. It's up to you if you want to do it really, really neatly, or if you're happy to have it a bit more haphazard. As it's a festive one, yeah, I'm happy to have it a little bit more haphazard. I usually like to be quite precise with my minis, but, you know, at this time of year, nobody's quite so precise, are they? And then, oh, these are tiny sprinkles. Look at the size of these. Aren't they cute? So I'm just going to just touch that onto those sprinkles in my hand. They adhere real quickly. You get quite a lot on there as well. I thought it was going to be quite a small amount, so I'm going to put a bit more in my hands, I think. The resin is not touching my hand when I'm doing this, by the way, because I'm just touching it just so gently, just to the edge of those sprinkles, so I'm not getting anything on my hands other than the sprinkles themselves. You just keep going with that. Okay. So I'm just going to grab my tweezers and just tidy it up just a little bit. I was being quite haphazard with the chocolate resin, but I don't want to be quite so haphazard with the sprinkles, because we want a nice even coat, don't we? We don't want them sort of sliding all over the place like that lot. That was not okay. But on the outside of the glass is completely fine. So, get off. There we go. And I want to keep it away from that really pretty design that's actually on the mugs, because it is lovely. Okay. Get that out of the way there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think that looks quite nice. So I'm just going to pop my torch onto that. Get that cured quickly so it doesn't slip and slide around while we're doing the second one. And then I'm just going to do the second one really quickly off camera, and then I'll be back for the next stage. Okay, I'm back now. That's all cured and ready. So now I'm going to take some more of the chocolate milk. I'm just going to pop a little bit in the bottom of each cup. She says, I've had this upside down while I've been curing that, and it still doesn't want to come down. It's quite thick resin, to be honest with you. Because it's the resin from the first series of the holidays as well, it is a different recipe to the resin that we get in them these days. So it's not necessarily one that I'm used to. These bottles are usually really easy. I mean, you saw what the glaze was like yesterday on the turkey. And that's from the same series. So in theory, but no, this is actually quite difficult to get out. That's okay. Right, let me just heat this up off camera a second, one moment. Okay, so I've just been holding that upside down in my hands and just giving it a bit of a squeeze with my warm hands, and hopefully, there you go, much better already. So just put a little bit in the bottom there. Let that settle. And then we're going to have the same problem with the other one, I think. Oh no. Okay, I'm just going to do the same thing again and try this with the second one. One moment. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Okay, now I'll come back over here and do a little bit more. Don't want a huge amount more in there just now. Just a little bit. Just enough really to coat the bottom of each glass, so that we've got something for those candy canes to grip onto, because I'm going to cure them straight in as soon as I've got enough in the glass just to coat the bottom. I'm just waiting for this last drip to come down. There we go. And I'm just going to pop that upside down. Over there. Okay, so I'm just going to not swirl it, because it's very, very thick, as you can see. It's not moving at all. So I'm just going to give it a little tap, just to make sure it's coating the bottom of the glass completely. Got a big old bubble in this one, so I'll just get rid of that. And this doesn't behave like the normal resin I'm used to at all. Like when you pop a bubble, the hole where the bubble was stays for ages. Never seen anything like it. Okay, well while that one's doing its thing, I'm going to grab the candy canes and pop them, because this one's fine. And pop a candy cane into that one, just while we wait. So these are the candy canes. I think they're really sweet. They're really nicely detailed. So I'm just going to pop that candy cane in there, just hanging over the glass. Might do it that way actually. Yeah, like that. I think that looks nice. And then when I finally get this one going, I'm just going to use the candy cane. Sorry, I just tapped my camera there. Use the candy cane just to gently distribute that around the bottom. And then I think I'll put the candy cane on this side so it's sort of like a mirror image. Pop that straight down there as well. Yeah, I think that's going to look nice. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my torch. Just give that a quick blast. And then hopefully, because we've had that tab upside down while we're doing this, there'll be enough resin to just finish these off, which would be great. Okay, I think that's enough just to get it to hold. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So fingers crossed, please work. Oh, much better. Although the first drop is always better, I think. Yeah, put 2 big dollops in that one. Leave that to level a bit, and then try and get 2 big dollops in this one as well. I can feel that there's a lot of resin left in it, it's just not coming out, which is something that I get a lot with the older series. The newer ones are much easier to get out. With these older ones, really want to hang on to that resin, which is annoying, but there we go. Has a nice big dollop eventually. Okay. One more big one in each if we can. A big bubble in that one, so I don't think that's going to be as good. Come on, there we go. Another big bubble in this one as well. Yeah, I find that Mini Verse's older resins are, sorry I keep hitting the camera, are a lot thicker and a lot more prone to bubbles and a lot more difficult to get out of the containers. But obviously they have done a lot with the recipe to change it since their first couple of series, so I'm not really sure what they've done, but they've definitely made a difference, because it doesn't act the same way it used to anymore, which is good. Okay, let me just check those for bubbles. That one's perfect. That one's perfect. So hopefully we can get one more big squeeze out of both of these. I'd really like to get it to sort of that, there's like a white line. I'd really like to get it to there. And then I can just top it off with marshmallows and we're disco. But I think it's going to come in just below that. So I'm just going to leave that alone again upside down for a minute. Pop my lamp on these. Just make sure that's nice and evenly distributed. Yeah, okay. Is that a bubble I see there? Nope. Okay. Get those cured up. and then we'll see what we've got left in there. Pop the marshmallows in, and we are done. I'm actually going to do this a bit off camera because I think I'm going to need a good sort of 5 minutes, just because I did quite a thick layer there. So give me just 5 minutes, I'll be right back. Okay, so I finished doing those two. So I'm just going to top these off as best I can with what's left in the bottle. You can hear that starting to get a bit sparse in there as it is. Oh, come on. Oh, maybe. A little bit more. Not quite as much as I want to. Come on. You've got this. I believe in you. Come on. It's a nice slow process. Nice wind down after the insanity of the last week. But yeah, I wish it was a bit quicker, because it is quite annoying. Okay, let me just keep holding this upside down over here off camera, because I don't want you sitting here as long as this is going to take, so one moment. Okay, so I've finally got as much resin as I possibly can out of there. Now I'm going to strategically cut this packet and get the marshmallows out. Just going to cut that corner off because I don't want to cut it too much, because it is a really cute little packaging. And then these are the little marshmallows that you get in it. So now that we've got that in there, I'm literally just going to take a handful of the marshmallows, just chuck them on top. Give it a little shake, I was about to say, just to put them everywhere. Just make sure that everything is touching that resin. Do the same with the next load. I'm not going to bother counting them or anything. I'm just going to chuck them in until that top is covered. And then however many we end up with, As long as they're all touching the resin, that is all I care about at this stage. Obviously, this being the old recipe of resin, it's a lot worse for you than the new recipe. A lot of these old kits were recalled because the resin was not good for you. So I'm being extra careful to not get any of this resin on my hands this time. Not that you should ever get resin on your hands, don't get me wrong, but especially this stuff. Definitely don't want any of this on your hands. So I think they look quite level. I think they look quite cute. I might do a couple of extra ones just to give it a bit of a peek. Just gonna get all of them out and see what we've got, and then just put a couple of extra ones on the top. There is a lot of resin on my tongs because I did end up putting the tongs into the resin and trying to scrape it out because it was not coming out on its own. So I have got quite a lot of resin on my tongs. So I should, in theory, be able to stick more on quite easily because of that. So I'm just going to do that and then just take one, pop it on top of there, like that, and then again pop that one down. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of the resin off of my tongs onto the tops of some of these marshmallows like this. So then I can just pick that up, touch that to the resin I've just put onto the marshmallows, and it should stick nicely on top there. There you go. And again, if you were using daylight or one of the normal methods, there is no way on earth you would be able to get this to cure. I've seen lots of people say that with the old resin it took forever to cure, whereas obviously because I've got a very high powered lamp and a very high powered torch, I'm not having that problem myself. But it's just something to bear in mind. If you do end up getting this kit, you will need to, you know, keep it torched for a long time to get the desired effect. Let me just scrape some of that off there. Just had one of my sprinkles come off, so I'm just going to reapply that without touching the resin. There you go. So just scrape some of the resin off of my tongs onto there. Use that just to coat it, and then thwap it on. Oh, come on. Okay. Put that on top of there. Pop that on top of there. 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 At least we know that they're definitely in, because that would have made them fall off. Okay. I think we're about there. And one last one. So I have used this entire bag of marshmallows on these two drinks, but I think they look quite cute for it. So I'm just going to pop my lamp onto that, and then we're done. One moment. Oh, goodness, she says. Again, if they weren't put onto the resin well enough, then they would have just popped straight off of there. So the fact that I accidentally dropped them is a good thing, because it's a sign that the resin has adhered those quite nicely, which is what we want, so that's good. Just give it another 10 seconds on each cup. And then we'll be finished. So I used obviously all of the candy canes because there was only 2 in the packet. I used all of the marshmallows. There were quite a few in the packet. It feels as though I used all of the resin, so there's not really anything much. Oh, the sprinkles. I've got so many of the sprinkles left. That's the only thing that I have abundance of now. So there they are, all cured, all finished, all perfect. What do you think? I think they're really nice. Let me just pop them on their little table. So that's the picture that they gave. No way you can achieve that peak with the amount of resin in the kits. But yeah, I think it's turned out really, really nicely, to be honest with you. From the side you can just about see the marshmallows. From the top obviously you can see them a lot more, but yeah, I think they're really nice and they look really lovely from the side. You can see the candy cane through, which is quite nice. So yeah, what do you think? Please comment below and let me know, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Bye.